Hello everybody, my name is Beth and this is my channel. Welcome or welcome back. This is my February wrap up and I'm going to do this quickly and hope I do not have to edit, but I will have to put in one picture and oh no, because I read that was finished in March. So let's see. All right. So the first book I finished was for the Around the World in 80 Days. Yes. And it was Death on the Nile by Agatha Christie. I gave this 5 stars, and Perot, I probably do not say that name right, goes to Egypt, and there he meets up with an actress, and her new husband, and then his ex. His ex seems to be following them wherever they go. The husband and wife are newly married. They are on their honeymoon, and she was actually, the ex and the man were actually engaged. So the actress is Lynette. I believe. Anyway, there are so many characters. Anyway, I gave this 5 stars. I finished this on the 1st of February. Loved it. I always love Agatha Christie. They're always 4 or 5 stars. Love, love, love those books. Okay, so the next one that I read was actually another one for Around the World in 80 Days. It was my read for Yemen, and it was actually Around the World in 80 Days. And I may count this toward my China, because I just don't think I'm going to get through all my books this month. And where I want to read The Good Earth, I'm just not ready for it right now. But I gave this 4 stars, and this is about, this is by Jules Verne, and it's about, I can't remember the guy's name, Phileas Fogg. He travels around the world, and he makes a bet with his friends, and he says he can do it in 80 days. And this is back in like days when you're riding elephants and trains and such. So I mean, there are cars, but they're new, it's like, and I'm not sure why there's a balloon on there, because he never gets in a hot air balloon. So anyway, I just thought that was funny, because I just knew he was going to be in a hot air balloon. But I gave this 4 stars. Finished this on the 3rd. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. So the next one, y'all know I'm using my little my little notebook. I have some poems that I read. I'll put the picture here. I don't remember when I finished them, because I don't have them listed in here except in my Around the World in 80 Days, and that was for India, and they were by Rabindranath Tagore. And so the next one I read was, wait a minute, because one of these books was way over here when I had to, okay, so this book, Danger in the Shadows, I read this for my book for Chantel's Readathon, read along, read your bookshelf challenge for book with complimentary colors of the January book. My January book was The Labors of Hercules, and my color was like a bluish green, and so this brown was my complimentary color. And then I also read it for Oshina's Christian Romance Reading Challenge. So this one I gave forever flipping 4 stars. This is about Sarah Walsh and I can't remember this book. Adam Black. I cannot remember this book. She's in witness protection. He abducted her as a child, and she can't remember his face. But he's stalking her. So, anyway, so she's in the witness protection. I enjoyed it, but I can't remember it. But I did give it 4 stars. I finished that on the 12th. And so the next thing I read was another Agatha Christie, Black Coffee. And this fit my prompt for Has a Map. I've read this a couple times, but it has a map in it. And it was a prompt for the game that I played. It's Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails. I gave this one 5 stars. I love this book. Poirot gets a call from this, I believe he's a scientist. It doesn't even say. Anyway, he has this formula, and it's, maybe he's an engineer. Anyway, it's like this big secret, and it could make, like, I believe it's a bomb. Anyway, it's worth lots of money, and he believes somebody in his house is trying to kill him so that they can have the formula. So he calls Poirot, and Poirot's going to go see him, and in all true fashion of an Agatha Christie book, he dies, and Poirot has to investigate. All right, I finished that one on the 15th. So then on the 18th, let me see which one this one was. Okay, this one didn't fit anything. I finished A Voice in the Wind. So I did give it 5 stars. I've said it before. I was a little upset about the end. My friend who picked one of my books for this month says that I'll be, I'll have my redeeming, my redemption in the next story, in the next book. But I finished this one on the 18th, and I loved the book. I love the storyline. One character I just absolutely cannot stand. I stayed mad at this character the whole time. This is about Christians when they were in persecution. Rome was the big power. The Colosseum was still in operation. They were still having the fights, and the gladiators were still having a fight for their freedom. And the Jewish people were taken captive, and Christians were persecuted if they said they believed in God. Okay. Now, the next book I read was I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, well, see, I read this one way a long time ago. I finished this one on the 8th. I read House of Sky and Breath because I wanted to participate with the last book, because this is the only one of Sarah J. Maas books that I have not read. And I wanted to make sure I read it with Hannah from Hannah's Recent Reads and Christina from Christina's Chapters for their Sarah J. Maas read-along. And I didn't get to watch the live show for this, but I loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. Loved it. I can't wait for the new book. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm ready to read it now. I wish she'd come out with the 3rd book. But this is not my favorite Sarah J. Maas book. I still love... If I had to pick one, it would probably be A Court of Mist and Fury, and then A Court of Silver Flames. Those are my top 2. And so, but I can't really tell you what this is about because it's the second in a series, or in a trilogy, because I think it's, well, right now it's just a duology, but I believe it's going to be at least 3. So, 5 stars, and we get to visit with Bryce and Hunt and explore their relationship a little further. And we see her brother, what's her brother's name? I can't remember. I believe that's like Christina's favorite. Rune Dannon. Get to see him a lot. We meet a lot of new characters, so really enjoyed this one. May have to reread both of the Crescent City books. And so my last read for February was Babel. And I've always pronounced it Babel when I would read it in the Bible. So, by R.F. Kuang. I loved this book. And, I don't think I've rated this on Book of the Month. Anyway, I gave this 5 stars. I don't generally like dark academia. I can't even speak. I don't generally like dark academia books, but I loved this book. This is about Oxford, and now she tells you in the beginning, well, the author tells you in the beginning, R.F. Kuang tells you, that she did take some liberties when she was writing, and there is some magic in it, so it's not all fact-based, but she does have some factual information in there. So it is set at Oxford, and the young man we are following, Robin, goes to the Royal Institute of Translations. Yes. So it's where they study different languages, and they excel at those languages. And there's also silver making. and this is what powers the city. And then he must choose. It comes down to he must choose to protect the Institute or his home country. So, and that's not a giveaway because that's in the insert. So, loved this. Loved the characters. 5 stars. I am working on putting the Poppy War on my TBR now because I have to read some more. This writing of R.F. Kuang's is amazing. So that was it. I read 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 books. Oh, 8 because I had the poems that was audiobook. So loved it, and that's it. I didn't get all my books read. I was supposed to read The Blood Gospel, but I didn't get to it. That was my mouse gray color book. I was going to read Jane Eyre, but I substituted because my friends weren't going to get to that one. And anyway, yes, that was it for February. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, click that subscribe button down below. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.